It's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China at the Animal Gym, Animal 2 location in the Putuo district. Tianyu and I are going to show you some side headlock stuff. So, side headlock, and we can hip throw them like that, but that's not all, there's more. There is another side headlock throw where I should probably go over the grip really quick. I'm not squeezing his head, right? If you're a really strong guy facing a smaller guy, you can get away with squeezing the head, but I'm not. I'm gonna move around the head. Notice I'm pushing his head with my shoulder, and now I'm gripping into his armpit, getting a meat hook right here, right in the meat of the armpit. Now, when I get my hips under him, now I can lift him and throw him, right? But what if you're a shorter guy, right, like Tianyu here, and it's gonna be harder for him to get this headlock throw. He's gonna be climbing up like this, and that's gonna be no good. So instead, I'm gonna do a sit-out throw. So I get this side headlock position, and I'm gonna sit into this scarf hold position, right? Now, if we're being really nice to each other, we can do this on the main floor without the mat. Essentially just sit out and move into that Kesa gatame scarf hold position, okay? I gotta give you a warning. I actually had my left shoulder dislocated when one of my students did this to me when we were sparring. Because sometimes, a side headlock, if someone just grabs your head like this, which isn't really a good side headlock, it's a nice handle to lift and throw and suplex him, right? Which is why it's so important to break the posture first. So use that shoulder, whether I'm high or low, break the posture and grab the armpit. So notice his posture is broken sideways. If he's perfectly stable, head, neck, and spine, and all in one line, I'm not going to be able to get any side headlock throws on. When I was teaching this to a group the other day, what they would do, they were afraid to sit down, and so they start kneeling all apologetically because they don't want to get hurt. And then the guy just climbs on their back and takes their back, and they're like, oh no, he's got back control. And then they got choked out or something. That's not what we're going to do. You've got to be brave and bold, break the posture, sit, and get your weight on him. Okay? So, again, it's going to interrupt the mic when Tianyu does this, but do that to me. So push, sit. Okay, yeah. So if hip throws are difficult for you, right? Or maybe you just don't have a good height advantage to get one of these. Like Tianyu, can you do that to me? Can you do a hip throw? Yeah, you can also jump into it like that. Exactly the way he just did. So this is a technique that I like to do while pummeling, right? Because people are always pummeling for the underhook here. Pummel with me, right? He wants an underhook. He doesn't want to give up the underhook. So when I pummel, he pummels, right? You probably, if you've taken a jiu-jitsu class or a wrestling class, you've done these pummeling drills a million times, right? So what about when the guy reaches for that underhook? He reaches for the underhook, and I reach for the side headlock, or if I want the sit-out version, all right, we're pummeling, and he gets that underhook, so I reach for the head, and I sit out there. But again, be cautious when you do this. You can throw a bunch of weight around. That's why I have this crash mount out here. Right? It's like doing an atomic elbow drop. Remember that pro wrestling move from the WWF era? Right, that one? It's kind of like that. You can throw your body weight into it and do a lot of damage. So again, when you practice with a partner, if you have a crash mat, just go light first. And then, when you learn control, work out to the open mat. And then, of course, in a fight, go as hard and as heavy as you can and injure the guy badly. And live with that on your conscience. So one more time, Tianyu, you pummel, grab the side headlock, you go. Okay, so the scarf hold position, once you hit the floor, all right, I'm gonna break his posture, and sit and move here. It's important to establish a wide base because he's gonna be kicking and bucking and squirming to get out here in a lot of ways, and there are ways to do it, but if I control this arm and control this head in this position, I can keep his posture broken. I can trap this, potentially get an arm bar right there, do the old punch him in the face technique here. Let's move out to the open mat a little bit more. Show you a few more options from scarf hold. Okay. So I've got this scarf hold position, right? So if I just start punching him in the face here, he's gonna block and frame on my bicep right there, right? And shut that down. So yeah, trapping this with the legs is a good idea. Okay, I'm still gonna keep my weight on him. I can still punch him. This hand can become a problem as well. So we can trap this one, underhook it, grab it here, get in this very relaxed looking posture. Can you get out? Yeah, and just beat him up from a crucifix there. So it's a silly looking but still highly effective technique. Let's do that one more time. All right. So we're pummeling, right? Side headlock, sit out, Kesa gatame, trap the arm, beat, punch, trap this arm. We could even go for an arm lock up here, but in the context of MMA, the closer you can get to relaxing, the better, the more stress it puts on the other guy. And then of course, you know, we've got, you know, the Americana, armbar there, etc. So how do you get out? Let's cover that. So put me in the scarf hold. Okay, so he's got a scarf hold. I moved the microphone so hopefully you can hear me. And he's got this arm trapped and he's trying to trap it between the legs. This arm is the only free thing I have. I can start framing here, or I can turn in and I can grab this. And now I can get essentially a 2-on-1. What I need to do is fix my posture. He wants to like bend my neck this way so I can't rotate and get hips out here and then start working for a scramble on the back. But essentially I want to go from here to here. With this free hand, if I can wedge it in there and trap that, that's good. That can give me a little bit of space. Turn the hips upside down, start scrambling forward and come out the back door a little bit. There's nothing easy about what I just showed you, right? If any of you guys have ever grappled with a good judoka, oh man, they'll just kill you with the pressure from scarf hold alone, even though it's not even a submission. But don't panic, relax, keep breathing. You can find your way out if they're not working to submit you or strike you. If they're just holding you, you can find your way out. And at the same time, if they are just holding you, it's not super urgent to find your way out, unless it's like, say, a judo match where it's timed and they're going to win if they pin you for a few more seconds, right? And then there's a huge case of urgency. So urgency is very relative to the sport. But anyway, to recap, if you're stuck on your back, turn in. And it's different than a regular side control where we would not do that. And here's why. So if he's in a regular side control here, now I want to turn into him, frame under him, make some space, get up here, right? Maybe re-guard, okay? Or get my underhook here, come down here, grab the leg, and now start working on a single leg there. But Kesa gatame is different. It's kind of like an inverted side control where instead of pinning the torso, you're pinning the head. So you got to free your head. Anyway, side headlock stuff, give it a try. If you're worried about giving up your back, that's okay. You don't have to use side headlock stuff. You have other options, right? So let's say we're doing that whole pummeling game. Boom. Make sure you have a plan, like when you get the underhook or when he gets the underhook. Because if you do this once or twice in a fight, you know, the other guy's going to have a plan. He's going to know what to do with this, right? And then, yeah. So always have a plan. Always think ahead. And, yeah. That's how we get away with side headlocks without giving up our back. So again, he has the underhook. He has this. If I just hold on here, this is no good. I have to break his posture. That means torsion. I've got to turn his head. I've got to twist. I've got to bend his spine, neck, and head in different directions. So he gets the underhook here. I push with the shoulder there, and I start to turn my whole body all in one movement. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Now get out there and train.